All right. 146. What? Let's get up there. It's kind of approaching half a year. But good on you. Good on me, rather. So, arm day today. What am I gonna do? My goal is to pump up my arms, do a decent amount of work such that they're, fatigued, and when I come home and eat and go to bed, they'll start growing. So how am I going to go about that? Well, probably going to start off with triceps, and then, before even before even going to the first exercise, I'm just going to sit on the cable and do single arm push downs just to kind of warm up my elbow, kind of forearm area. Maybe do a little bit of rotator cuff work to get the shoulder warmed up as well. And if everything feels in order, which usually it does, I should just jump straight into heavy tricep pushdowns. Honestly, hard to beat. I could not really... It's like if I had to pick a single movement for triceps, ever, like this is the last of it, it's probably just going to be like, standard bar pushdowns. Not the V bar where your hands are like this. Acts a little weird. That one's a little funky to me. But more like the straight bar or like the W bar. And then, I'll probably throw in some other shit as well. Actually, no, I'm sure I will. I'll probably get some machine dips. Wait, you're going to see it, whatever. Push downs, that's my bread and butter for triceps. And then I'll do some other stuff after. And then buys, that's up to your own discretion, honestly. I mean, as long as your first couple of sets are as heavy as you can go for, let's say, maybe 8 to 12 reps, you can really do whatever kind of curls you like, right? Like, the first one that comes to mind are going to be normal alternating dumbbell curls where you kind of twist it. Everybody knows that shit. Preacher curls, I like doing them single arm with a dumbbell. Cable curls, easy bar curls. Maybe you have like a machine preacher curl or something like that. It's all curls at the end of the day. It's just, I thought that shit was gonna fall. At the end of the day, all you're doing for biceps, for the most part, basically, like all encompassing, is just taking your arm from here to here. So whatever movement you just happen to like, just fucking go hard on it. Some days, I've done lifts where it's just all dumbbell curls. Literally every set is just standing alternating dumbbell curls because it just felt pretty good that day. And then I've done shit where I've done 6 different kinds of curls just because I wanted to change it up or whatever. As long as, and in both of those cases, I always get a fucking good bicep pump because I still did the same amount of sets total for the workout. For me being 11, but I pretty much recommend maybe 7 to 12-ish. By the time you've done that many sets for a specific body part, you should be pumped, and that's usually a good sign that you're done. But in both cases, I end up fucking pumped. In a way that, I couldn't even really tell a difference between them. Like maybe if I do more dumbbells, I feel my forearms a little more. Because, no matter what you're doing in a curl, you're always going to get a little bit of forearm activation. But unrelated to that, let's stop talking about it. You're literally about to see what I'm doing in 5 seconds. 3-minute rant. I love straight bar pushdowns. First exercise, the rope. I just got to change it up every so often. Like the bar is still good, but I start with the bar every time. And I haven't really done heavy rope for a while. But the only tip I could say for these is try not to just push straight down. Try to pull apart as well at the bottom. All right, now let's go to the bar. Okay, back to the bread and butter. 2 plates plus the stack, plus the stack. Really can't go wrong with this. So probably, honestly, maybe even 4 sets of this. I'll see how it feels. But you know, like I was saying before, I really just don't see a better movement than just a straight bar push down. Oh. Oh. Okay, I think it's time for the dip machine. With this particular machine, I'll kind of do it either one of 2 ways. I'll go super heavy and just load the stack, you know, pump reps out, whatever. Or I'll lighten the weight, maybe like, honestly, almost like not half of the stack, but maybe 2/3 or so. Go lighter and really try to squeeze more, right? Like you can pretty much do, that'd be like doing a set of you know, heavy bench versus a set of pec deck, right? And heavy bench, you know, you're loading the muscle a lot of tension, but you don't have that same squeeze that you would get with a pec fly, right? So doing things heavier or lighter, right? As long as they're a hard set, it's just a little bit of a different stimulus, I think. You know, whatever. So I'll do one heavy one, and then I'll do a light one, and see if I want to keep doing more of these. Ah. That felt good, but that's enough of that. Let's go back to the straight bar. Okay, so last 3 sets, I think I want to throw in some supersets. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but for the first one I'll try, I'll just do same as normal, hard set of just the normal pushdowns, but then I'll jump onto the rope and just get a little more oomph out of it, if you know what I'm saying. So maybe I'll do it again, maybe I won't. It'll depend on how it feels. Oh, hey. Whew. Okay. That feels pretty fucking good. 2 more of those, and then we can move on to curls. Wow. Okay. Triceps have been sufficiently pumped. Let's put this fucking weight away and start curling. I would definitely call this a... I mean, it's not that crazy. People saw Arnold do this fucking set and pumping iron. Everybody's seen that, even people who don't lift. But rather than just start off with typical alternating dumbbell curls, this time I like doing some bent, literally the same setup as a bent over row. Like, you got the bench and everything, but instead of rowing, I'll do a curl, right? And you can load this up a lot because you can kind of swing it a little. Like, this is one of those sets where my intent is not perfectly controlled, contracted sets, or reps rather, but just, you know, load the bicep with as much weight as possible and just pump out reps. So this is an 80. I'm going to strap in so I don't work too much forearms. But let's throw this shit around. I think the 70s for standing alternating curls should feel just about right. Fuck. Okay, overestimated the strength a little. That just goes to show how much those fucking bent over curls took out of me. Let's hit the 60s next. Fuck. God damn. All right, fuck. Let's do one more with the 50s. God, this shit's fucking heavy today. All right, let's move on. This bicep machine is definitely up there with my favorites. I'd say, typically I don't love a preacher machine. You know, the ones with the arm, it kind of swivels. Usually it just kind of feels weird on my forearms. But this one I like. Obviously not a preacher curl, it's just a, what do you even call this? Seated curl machine? Whatever, super good squeeze. So let's throw the stack around. The 45 should be just about right. Like, if I was fresh, I don't know how heavy I could go on these. Maybe, I don't know, 65, 70? Maybe 70. So the fact that I'm doing 45s for a set should go to show you just how weakened I've become over the last, I don't know how many I've done. I always go back and watch the clips. I always forget how many sets I've done. But yeah, let's throw this around. And then with all single-sided movements, I start with the weaker side first and match the reps. Right, I feel like my right bicep's slacking just a little behind the left one. So I'll do a set of, I don't know how many I get, let's say 15. If I could get, 17 or 18 on the left one, I'm still gonna stop at 15, just to, in a sense, restrict the growth and let the weak one catch up, right? So you can apply that to whatever. Single arm rows, leg extension, single leg curl, any kind of movement. Ender, gonna do set with the 50s, get I don't know how many reps, whatever, then drop set to easy bar cable curls. Then we go check the pump. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Okay. Let's just do the whole stack. It's not that heavy. There we go. Oh, okay. I lied. That stack is feeling fucking heavy as all hell. Let's go check the pump. We're done. Okay. Oh, curls and pushdowns. I feel like a fortune teller. I foretold that that would be the workout in the car, and then it happened. And look at us now. Fucking, I'm about to have a lot of trouble taking this fucking shirt off. Let's just get that over with before we start talking about anything. Okay, well, that was pretty seamless. Sweet. You never know sometimes. Putting the pump cover on and off. It's like taking toothpaste in and out of the tube. All right, let's see what we're working with here. Ooh, that feels pretty freaky. Oh yeah, I forgot front lat spread. That's a pretty good looking one with the arm pump. Ooh. Oh my goodness. And even just sitting here like flexing the biceps, it's fucking like sore. Whew. It's not so bad right now, but when I'm peak pumped, well, I guess this is peak pumped, so whatever. Sometimes it's kind of tricky for me to fucking pause the music on the headphones because I gotta reach up to my fucking head. So yeah, another good gauge of whether or not you had a good arm pump, or at least a good bicep pump, is whether or not you can touch your shoulders with your fingers. No chance. No freaking chance. I can when I'm not pumped. So it just goes to show the difference. Oof. Yeah, fucking, I mean, nothing else to fucking talk about, you know? Those bent over single arm rows, or single arm curls, those felt super good. I've done those every so often. Like I've had lifts where I've done that like a lot. Maybe if you scroll back to the, probably in the 60s or 70s, I was probably doing, it's been since then, since I did that movement for buys. But yeah, that was a ton of tension. Even though the form was kind of shit, you know, like I'm swinging around, I still got a fuck ton of tension and a really good, maybe not a good stretch. You know, you pretty much always go down to the bottom with the bicep exercise. But on the bottom, kind of catching it launch the weight back up, it just did a lot of damage. A lot of freaking damage. And triceps, I mean, tried and true, fucking push downs, whatever. I was getting ready to set up my little overhead cable thing. So I like put a bench down, I move the cable arm on one of the machines, and I do triceps like that. But I didn't want to set it up. I was in the zone. I didn't want to fucking take 5 or 6 minutes to, make sure it was all in the right position and stuff. So, in that sense, I mean, you're gonna have a better time at a real gym. I do kind of say you can get a good lift at a home gym, just dumbbells, a barbell, squat rack, and maybe some bands, whatever. You can still do a good workout, but you got to use a lot more willpower. Or no, what am I saying? A lot more brain power, right? Because you've got to figure out ways to do new movements or like emulate machines that you don't have, jerry rig shit. Whereas when you're in the actual gym, fucking everything's already ready for you, right? So would I look the exact same right now if I had been lifting in just my little home gym this whole time? Maybe not. Maybe not. I'd probably still be pretty big, but would it be the exact same size? I don't know, man. That's a different universe. That's an alternate reality. So I'm gonna go back up there, do calves. I came in early, so I don't think any of my fucking friends are up there. Lonely lift today, but so what? It was still a good pump. So I'm just gonna get out of here. Okay, so not much to be fucking said, man. Let's say you've got an arm day. You just fucking go in, do all your sets hard. By the end of it, you ought to be freaking pumped. There may be a little more to that, but that's just boiling it down to the basics. Boiling it down to the freaking, I don't know what you call it. Whatever. Let's just get out of here. I can't be thinking complexly right now. My glycogen has been depleted from a hard workout. Maybe I should replenish it. Oh, exactly, man. Post-workout, your body just burned its easiest source of energy. What do you think that would be? Would that be fats? Would that be proteins? No, that would be carbs. Right? Your body fucking runs on carbs, man. I'm not a fucking biologist. There we go. I don't know who the fuck studies that kind of stuff. But no, I'm not a scientist. Let's just say that. Let's just keep it broad. But, right, anybody who knows anything has looked into like ATP production, whatever. You need carbs to do all that shit, man. Right? At the end of the day, your body needs some carbs to perform. So that's what I'm about to refuel with the post-lift dextrose shake. Let's get it out of the way and then keep talking. Oh, fuck. I could have pulled out, but I couldn't see the cars on the right side. The shake was blocking my view. So, let's talk about workout timing. Right? What's the best time to work out? Is it right in the morning when you wake up? Is it, fucking right before you go to bed? Probably not. For me, I pretty much like, well, the lift, I typically like to do later in the day, just so I can, eat my meals and whatever first. Be nice and, pretty much fueled up and energized. So by the time I go to the gym, I'm not feeling like sluggish from just waking up, and, I can go hard. I have done lifts right in the morning when I wake up, if I'm like super busy in the evening for whatever reason, but I don't love it. I don't love it. Plus, I want to do cardio right in the morning. So for me, I mean, what, I just did this lift at 1. So I got up at like 6, ate food all day. And then by the time I pulled in, I felt pretty good. So in terms of the cardio timing, let's keep going. So is it bad for you to lift late at night? Maybe. Let's say you're really caffeine sensitive. Like if you take even just like 50 milligrams of caffeine in your pre, you get all jittery and you can't sleep. Right? Maybe it's not going to be best for you to lift in the evening or like late nighttime, close to when you're going to bed. Or maybe just get a pre-workout that doesn't have caffeine in it if you can't take it. So I mean, some people, yeah, it just fucks with them. It's just a weird sensitivity type deal. But for me, I mean, I only ever do about 200 milligrams of caffeine in the pre-workout. So I've lifted at like 11, taking the pre at 10:30, and then by the time I get back home at like midnight, or I don't know, not midnight, more like 12:30, 12:45, I still go to sleep fine. Maybe my brain is just like fried from constant caffeine exposure or whatever else. I never take like what do you even call it? Deload weeks of caffeine. That is not the term. But yeah, I don't know. I just stick with the 200 and I don't really go any higher than that. I think it gets really fucking annoying when I see 100 something pounder and they're taking upward of 800 milligrams of caffeine. Oh, I think you just missed something. You missed a little something in your what am I even thinking? Something's just missing where you went down that rabbit hole of thinking more and more caffeine is better. It's just not how it works. But yeah, I mean, I can fall asleep on 200 milligrams of caffeine an hour before I go to bed. I don't know. I think that's probably just fucked up. But yeah, so I'd rather lift at the earliest, maybe 2 o'clock if I wake up at a normal hour. So in terms of cardio timing, that I'm a little bit more picky about, right? Because there's basically there's 4 time periods where you can do your cardio. So that's going to be 30 minutes of just, walking on the treadmill, sitting on the seated bike, pedaling, Stairmaster perhaps. I don't like the Stairmaster. You're just fucking, like, getting a huge burn in your legs that you don't really need. Right? Like the Stairmaster, I feel like it's just hard unnecessarily. But yeah, you got 4 times where you can do cardio, basically. You can do it a significant period of time before your workout, right? Like for me, that ends up being in the morning. And then, I go about my day, eat my food, and then go to the gym later. You could do your cardio before your workout. Like you go to the gym, you hop right on a cardio machine, you get sweaty, you get warmed up, and then you start lifting. You could do your cardio after the workout, so you lift your weights, then you sit on the bike or the treadmill, whatever. Or you can come back to the gym later at night and do your cardio. So, worst case scenario is right before your lift. Like you go into the gym, you took your pre-workout, whatever, you're nice and full of carbs because you had a big bowl of rice an hour and a half before the lift, or whatever your pre-workout meal of choice is. If you do your cardio right before you start lifting weights, all you're doing is burning energy which you could have put into the lift. You're just letting it fucking seep out of you, right? You're tiring yourself out before you're gonna try to, push your, let's just say you got arms, push your fucking biceps to the limit on curls. In my mind, the whole point of the lift is you go in as fresh as possible, and then you try to leave as depleted as possible. Or maybe not depleted, but, once you've done a significant amount of work. Right? So doing cardio right before your lift just doesn't make sense. If you were about to run a sprint, why would you wouldn't want to do a 30-minute jog first if you were going for like a specific time or something. That's just kind of an analogy. I'm not a track coach. So, yeah, no good. Don't do that. Doing it right after your lift is probably going to be a little bit better. you know, you still were nice and fresh for the actual weight session, and then, you know, you just sit on the cardio machine, get sweaty after the lift. That's also not the best case scenario, because right after your workout, you know, you just stress the fuck out of your body. You want to just jump straight into recovery. Like that's what I just did drinking that carb shake. I got all sorts of sugars floating around my blood. I don't know how quick that process is from, you know, chugging the shake to actually getting it into the muscles. But whatever, it's on its way there. You know, I'm not interested in doing any laborious physical activity right now. I just want to sit down and relax, you know, and start to recover. So, you know, to jump right onto a cardio machine after your workout, you're just stressing your body more and more unnecessarily. Whether or not that's going to, like, obviously the workout's still going to be effective, but you know, you're just putting yourself in a more stressed position before you know, start eating your post-workout meals and you start recovering. If you go into the gym later at night, I mean, same deal. I guess going in later may be better than going in right after your lifts. And it's probably about the same level of unpreferableness to me. So for me, the best case scenario is when you go in right in the morning. Whether you do it faster or not, who cares? It doesn't really change anything, because either way, you're still burning the same amount of calories, right? If I sit on the seated bike 30 minutes and that little number says I burned 300 calories, whether or not that's right or not, I don't really believe it. It's just kind of arbitrary. Whatever. Whether I'm fasted, like I haven't eaten anything yet, or if I did eat like a big bowl of cereal or something, I still burned 300 calories. Right? It's not going to change my total daily energy expenditure, right? Whether or not I do my cardio fasted or fed, right? Don't worry about that kind of shit. But that's the best case scenario, just because, well, I'd it just kind of gets into a preference thing, like, but doesn't that just make sense to you? Fucking after your lift, all you want to do is focus on recovery, right? So it would make sense that you'd want to do your cardio and, you know, raise your heart rate, sort of stress your system out as far apart from the lift as possible, right? So right in the morning, that is going to be good for you. I'm really fucking rambling now, man. I'm fucking tired. Shit. But you get the idea. Yeah, ideally, you're going to the gym or you got a little treadmill at home. 30 minutes in the morning, you break a sweat, perfect. Then go lift in the evening. But as long as you get your lift in, you're good. You'll be all right. As long as you get your lift and your cardio in, at least try to do some cardio. You'll be freaking good. So that's enough of that. I'm gonna eat something. I'm just probably gonna take a nap. So I'll see you next time.